You can access the entire episode now on our website, forbiddenknowledge.news, Rokfin, Rumble, and all podcast platforms. Let's talk about the nature of contact during these experiences, what these entities are. Do you believe that they are part of our own consciousness? Are they external intelligences that exist beyond our perception? Are they extraterrestrials? Are they angels, demons, all of the above? What do you think?
Yeah, I really do believe it's an all of the above type of situation. When you get out there, you start to realize very quickly that the human labels and the earthly perception of things does not apply. I've come across presences that you could call angelic, that you could call demonic, but they're not really the religious. They're not exactly what religion sells them to be. Religion sort of sells angels and demons as angels are the good guys for this group of spiritual ideology followers, and the demons are against the lovers of God. You know, it's this very sort of like one-dimensional, marketable sort of explanation of these spirit energies out there. These things are just like you and me. These are complex entities. I've run across a reptilian over there one time, and you know, they looked like a humanoid lizard person, and you know, we're trained to be, oh no, a reptilian, this is a demon, demonic. And actually they showed me an x-ray of my lungs, and they told me, if you keep smoking DMT, you're going to harm yourself, and this is going to be counter to what you're trying to achieve. So I actually got health advice from a reptilian, and maybe he was a little slithery, his energy, and he was sort of like between teeth, like, oh, you know, you're destroying yourself, you know, still had that sort of like snake-like attitude. But he didn't feel like a one-dimensional evil entity, and ultimately this individual is coming from a place for my better good. And like I mentioned earlier, in another circumstance, I was met by monks in flowing white robes, and they floated down to me in that vision of an angelic tunnel with golden gates and the whole nine. And I'll tell you, those golden gates glittered so beautifully. There was little holographic rainbows between the shining of the gates and these three-dimensional clouds. It was like visual grandeur turned up beyond what we could normally comprehend. And these monks are floating down to me into the light. There's a row of 4 of them, and they're beaming into my mind telepathically. And by the way, telepathy, when you're out there, it just works. It's like, that's the method of communication for consciousness. You do not need to overthink it. Just as you think in your own mind is how you communicate out there. It's more intuitive and easier, honestly, than spoken language is. So these 4 monks are floating down to me, and they're beaming into my mind with this force. You are the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And I was immediately, red flags went off. Like, who are these external beings I just met trying to tell me who I am? I immediately responded, oh, no, you don't. You're not going to put me on that spiritual ego trip. I've got a friend on the planet where I come from. Their dad thinks that he's Jesus Christ, and he's the worst father I've ever heard of. Aren't we all Christs in the making, you know? And wait a minute, who are you beings out here in this reality trying to overwhelm my visual senses using this religious ideology that I know comes from corrupt sources? You need to reveal your true form to me, because I know you're not being upfront with me. 3 of those monks flew away. The vision of that tunnel faded to a dark, murky astral cavern. They were doing a psychic hypnotism onto me to see what I was seeing and to feel what I was feeling. And it was not all love and light. It was a trick. The one guy that was left, he now appeared like he appeared like a Middle Eastern man in like a sort of brown robe. Instead of this flowing white robe, it was just like a normal robe. And he comes in close to me and says, okay, you caught us, fair. But hey, take me on as your spiritual advisor, and I'll make sure you get a lot of money. And I thought, oh, this is a classic Djinn exchange where they make a deal with you to make a spiritual exchange. And I thought, no way, man. I've seen enough episodes of The Twilight Zone to know that this has got strings attached to it. And also, who are you out here in the spirit realm pulling on religious ideology motifs to try to psychically like hypnotize a person with you and your posse, and you're connected to the corrupt financial system on my planet? No way. Talk about red flags on top of red flags. And I said, no, be gone. You have no permission to exchange with me or my sphere of energy whatsoever. His jaw dropped. I could tell that the humans usually take the money, and then he flew right out of there. So that was a very, very eye-opening experience on the importance of spiritual discernment. Don't judge a book by its cover.